Hi everyone, welcome back to Cardvoyant. I'm Kris and I'm your Cardvoyant, and today we have another tarot tutorial kind of video. I haven't done one for a while, so I'm anxious to do this for you. Um, so before that, let me just say thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't and you're interested in tarot in any form, please subscribe, ring the bell, all of that kind of stuff. And if you have any interest in a private reading, that's the information will be at the end of the video, but it's cardvoyant.com where you can do all that. So in learning tarot myself, I'm completely self-taught. And so when I first started out, I got my first set of cards, Rider-Waite cards, and I just went through them. I just, got more books, and tried to figure out what I was doing. And when I very first started, I would completely use the book that came with it. I'd be looking up meanings every single time. And then, when I wasn't doing reading, I'd try and study a little bit, but it's hard. Yeah, as you know, that's why I did the tutorials to learn the cards, because it's tough. It just takes a lot. It's not like it's time consuming, as any memorization thing is. So I'd sit there and I'd do use the book. I'd use traditional spreads. So I'd be like, oh, well, this has to do with your past. Turn it over, open the book, read it. So I was just obviously reading for myself and for some relatives and friends. I'd forced my kids to have readings, those kinds of things. But the very first time that I thought, okay, I'm going to try my first reading. And this is like, I haven't even looked at all the cards probably. And I sat down to do it, and I thought, what do I do? How do I do this? I had no clue. I thought, is there a special way I'm supposed to be shuffling? I don't know. Do I lay the cards like face down or face up? I mean, what do I do? And so I just started doing. And eventually, I mean, this is, more than a decade down the road, I've come to kind of have my own way of doing things. And I wanted to show you that. I'll show you what I do, but I wanted to let you know that there's not a wrong way. I mean, tarot is such an intuitive tool for you to use. So there's not like some specific way that if you don't do it that way, it's not going to work, that somehow your spirit guides will be like, she shuffled wrong, like she can't, or he can't do it. So no, it's not like that. It really isn't. And your guides are just so happy to always help you, as you probably know, but even in this kind of endeavor. So you will find the more you do it, things that are comfortable for you and ways that feel like they work for you. So let me show you what I do. First of all, when I'm shuffling, I use that as my time to connect. So when I do a live reading, I'll begin by just talking to my client. I'll find out what their questions are, some background. Background's always helpful. And after that's done, and I might spend 5, 10, even 15 minutes talking about those kinds of things so that we can formulate question or questions. If you've had a recorded reading from me, you know that that's something that you send me, background information and then your questions. So it's the same kind of thing. So when I begin to actually do the reading, that's when I begin to shuffle. And as I'm shuffling, I am connecting with my guides, first of all, then connecting with your guides. I always begin by thanking my guides, thanking your guides for taking part. I always sort of stipulate that your guides are invited to take part in this, but only if they have your highest good at heart. Now, I believe that all of your guides have your highest good at heart, but I always just feel like, I'll say that. Generally, I will ask for protection, love, and light, and high vibrations, just kind of, just kind of in my head. And then really I'll sort of hold the cards while I'm doing that. And then when I actually begin shuffling, that's when I start asking my clients questions. And I'm going to sort of tip this down so you can see me shuffling, but see the cards as I'm shuffling, but then also see me. Now, when I'm connecting with your guides, I will ask them to draw near to me, to fill my room with their presence. I will ask them to talk to me and through me, especially using the cards. But I always say, in whatever way you can connect to me. And then I'll sort of run down a list. And that list includes words, whisperings, visions, ideas, anything from my mind that they can use. So any sort of references with TV, movies, literature, art, poetry, anything that they can use to help me understand what their meanings are, right? I need references so that I can express that to you. So as I shuffle, I'll kind of run through that a few times, and I'll finish up by saying, not what I think, but what you know. And along with your questions, anything that they think it would be good for you to know, you need to know, or that it would help you to know. And I'm doing all of that as I'm shuffling. And finally, when I've sort of run through that a couple of times, and this is why I shuffle for a really long time, while I'm sort of running through that, finally I will ask, okay, how many cards? And I don't use traditional spreads. Now, as I said, when I started out, I did. Of course, I mean, you're going to do that. So I came to find out that what helps me is just to get a feel for what your guides are saying, how many cards you need. And literally, I will get the sound in my head of the number of cards. And then I will often see it. Like if it's 7, I'll hear it and see the number 7. So that usually comes quite quickly. And then I need to get a feel for what the spread is going to look like. I have several spreads that are quite common. The sort of pyramid shape is common. Just rows are common. Sometimes I'll have what I kind of think of as a Christmas tree. It's a pyramid, but there's 1 or 2 cards at the base that support that pyramid. And I'll also mention to my guides the time. I mean, if it's a 30-minute reading, I'm not going to be able to get through 12 cards. I'm just not. And so they know that. So they'll give me fewer cards. If it's an hour reading, it'll usually be something like 8, 9, 10, 11. Hopefully not more than that, but So then I will just lay down the cards. I always lay them face down and turn them over. And to me, once I lay them down, I'll kind of take a breath and then turn them over. So let me show you what that looks like for me. I begin with my cards. The Hanged Man is a bad example, but face up like this. Hangman's a bad example because he looks upside down, but it's upright. All right, so here we go. Now, when I shuffle, and I know that I'm getting toward, like, I feel like, okay, I'm ready to put these cards down. I've got the number of cards. I know what it's going to look like. I feel like I've connected. The last thing I will do after I do the last shuffle is that sort of cutting of the cards like that. And really, to me, it feels like the cards almost cut themselves, like they go to a certain place when I'm doing that. And then I'll know I'll just feel like that's the time to stop. And then we'll get the one card or however many cards I have. Right now I have this one card, and then I'll turn it over. Oh, and it's the Lover's card. What a great card to get for the day. So when I was shuffling and asking about what card would help us today with going through the day, what we need to know, what would help us to know, would be good to know. And we got the Lover's card, and that is, oh my gosh, you know, the Lover's card is so great in this instance, but because it's talking about our fellow man, it's talking about bringing love into our lives, sharing it, and I think it calls for patience too, right? I mean, especially in these times when things are difficult, it's easy to lose your temper. There's just, so many things going on. So this is such a lovely card to remind us of the sort of brotherhood of man, right? That we share we all share in this universe. We're all a part of it. We're all part of the God source, the universe, however you want to think of it. And so the only appropriate emotion toward one another is love, even as we do lose our tempers and we do get frustrated. But if we can keep that in mind, it will help us through our day. So what I want to say about the shuffling aspect of this is oftentimes, many times, maybe most times, when you lay down your cards and turn them over, there's this moment of, I don't know what the heck is happening here. You look at your cards and you're just like, okay. Now, if you are starting out by using a book that has spreads in it and shows you different spreads, classic spreads to use, then you can turn over each card and say, okay, this is about the past. This is about the future. Look at your book, if you're using your book, and just read what it says. You'll be shocked at how accurate it is and how perfect it is for the situation or the person. It's just tarot. That's why it's so cool. Now, when you start doing sort of your own, where if you choose to do that, and you look at the cards and you're like, what the heck? My way of starting a reading and sort of dealing with that is just to start talking about the card, what you know about the card. Open your book. If you haven't, memorized the cards, read it, or just go with the things you know. I know the Lover's card obviously is about lovers. It's about people. It's about love. You can see the sort of angel and the sun, and even if you don't exactly remember what the book tells you those meanings are, it's an angel, right? And then it's the sun. It's beautiful, and there's this sort of Garden of Eden reference, so you could talk about male and female, but as you start talking, you open yourself up, right? And that's when your spirit guides can talk to you. They can expand on that. That's the beautiful thing about tarot, is it really is a tool to connect, a tool to help you find your intuition, your psychic self, really, because it's there. You have a psychic self. And as you sort of let yourself go, and it can take time to find out within yourself, just release your mind in so many ways, to have it open to the spirit messages. What is difficult, but what is essential, is to just say what you are thinking, feeling, or the actual words you hear in your head. If you happen to have this Nine of Swords, and you know that it's about like literally being kept up at night, or this sense of worry and anguish, you might hear the word marriage in your head. Well, that's a message from, if that's something that just sort of pops into your head and you're like, what's that all about? That's the message from spirit guides. And that's letting you know that's one of the issues here. And you just say it. And you, or the person you're reading for, will understand it or will acknowledge it often, very often, and you can go from there. And then your spirit guides understand that they've connected with you. They understand that you've got that message, and so they will send more about it in that card or in other cards. Right? And that's how this works. This video is really, I meant it to be just about shuffling. I'll talk a little bit more in another video about the process, but basically that's it. But we can talk more about it. We really can. But basically that's at the heart of it, right? It's all about being open to connection. It really is. I mean, that's what any kind of intuitive ability is about. It's it's being able to listen and accept that you are receiving these messages. So shuffling, it's such a these little things can be stumbling blocks because we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to do it wrong. We want the reading to work. So I just wanted to show you very simply how I shuffle, even though this is long now, I'll edit it. But I did want to show you that. But I do want to stress that it's up to you. If you don't shuffle the way I do, don't. If you just want to sit and cut the cards, like this, or however people do that really cool thing where they can, do it really fast, you can do that. I mean, of course, do that. Definitely do that. Any way you can. So it's up to you how you do it. The method that you use, we'll talk about more about spreads and that kind of thing. But for now, especially if you're starting out, you're still using the book, which any kind of book that comes with your card booklet. Of course, that's fine. It takes time, and sometimes you'll be going along and you'll think, "Oh my gosh, what does that card mean?" Keep the book by your side. What? Nothing wrong with that. That's great. I mean, it helps you, right? If you want to get the reading right, that's wonderful. So, and it's also if you want to lay down your cards face up, go ahead, lay down your cards face up. I mean, it's fine. Some spreads, when you're actually doing spreads, they will show you exactly what they suggest that you do. But this is your tool to use, so you use it in the way that is most helpful to you, and the way that you feel that you are connecting. That's how you use it, and that's how it'll work. Your guides know you, and so they'll work in a way that is that they're best able to connect to you, and your clients' guides work with your guides. Right? That's the beauty of it. Is there's this sort of communication between everybody so that it can benefit your client in the best way possible. I really believe that. They're working for us. They want very much for us to experience this thing, and they want very much to be able to connect with us and help us, with advice and with whatever we need. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Hopefully it feels a little bit easier. I mean, the cards really do become kind of a personal tool because your guides get to know you. They get to know how you use the cards. And then, then it really is quite personal. So your personal reading style might be quite different from somebody else's. That's fine. Of course that's fine. So don't be afraid to just sort of give it a try in whatever way works for you. I wanted to show you how I work in case that's something that seems helpful that you might like to do. Use the same kind of method. But again, experiment and do what feels right for you. That's what tarot's about. What feels right to you, and the ways in which your guides are able to best communicate with you, to you, and through you. So I hope this is helpful. I'll have another tutorial pretty soon. Please let me know if there's like something specific that you would like to know, or something that you feel like a video would be helpful to teach you, and I will try to do them as best as I can. I'm going to have a few more videos coming up. We're going to do another Psychic Sisters video, and I've got some fun stuff to show you. I've got some more Jacob's Journal material, and I've got a kind of a crazy Jacob's Journal ideas. So we'll be doing some of those too. So until then, until next time, until I read for you, until I hear from you, I will just say thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope this is helpful to you. If you'd like a reading, again, cardvoyant.com. And until next time, please take care of yourself. Please take care of others. And I'll say bye for now.